Let me start with a little book of facts about this movement, specifically about superstition. Superstition is taking a large part of this debate. Every year, millions of people from different classes and different cultures and different religions wait to know predictions about their horoscopes on around the coming year. Isn't this considered superstition? Superstition is there since ancient times, and it will inevitably continue with us all our lives. Things that we do normally are considered suspicious sometimes. From the classics of the Friday 13th to the infamous Bloody Mary to the Black Cat, those are all considered suspicious stuff. Now, in Macbeth, in Shakespearean tragedies, superstition took 90% of his work. I'm going to play a part of the video of Macbeth, Act 1, Scene 1, showing the first scene of the witches before they met Macbeth. Okay, now we're told that the witches are planning on meeting Macbeth, and they have their minds set obviously on destroying him. Now, at that time, Macbeth was a noble, admired leader in his society, until he came to the encounter with the witches when he was with his loyal friend Banquo. When he encountered with them, they gave him the three prophecies. When they told him about the prophecies, this is when he started thinking of being king. He didn't have the idea of being king before. He was fiercely loyal to King Duncan and to Scotland. But when he met them, they planted this idea in his head. They planted the seed of evil in him, and this seed kept growing gradually along the place.
You mentioned that many people are superstitious and they follow their horoscopes and finding what's in the future. Okay, but there are also many people who doesn't want to take the chance to destroy hope or renew. Because by predicting the future, you might either destroy hope and then succeeding in your goals, or renew it. So they don't want to take that chance of destroying their hope. So they don't want to. You said many people.
Yeah, I said many people. Many people many people are suspicious, and you're saying that some don't want to know, or don't want to ruin their hopes. Yeah, some of them, but not all of them don't want to know about their future.
Okay, and second of all, do you think Macbeth is the main character in the play?
Yeah, I think Macbeth
He is the protagonist?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
The second point by Will the Guide of None.
As the American writer and philosopher Albert Hubbard once said, the only fools that threaten our world are the enemies at home, and these are ignorance, superstition, and incompetence. No matter how sophisticated our society becomes, superstition always has an impact on success or failure. There seems to be a part of our brain that always wants to hang on to these anchors of magic that either lifts us up or brings us down, independent of our rationality. While the clearly logical part of our thinking can easily dismiss those superstitious beliefs as just silly quirks, our less rational, creative mind works to incorporate whatever we feed it in order to gain or lose an edge using our own brain faculties engaged to solve our problems. Uncontrolled belief in superstition can have negative impacts on how a person conducts his or her life. And when applied to extremes, this can cause destruction and to the point of debilitation or extreme weakness. Okay, there are superstitions in this play, and these superstitions are what tie the play together. Witches, for example, are the main superstition in the tragedy of Macbeth. And when someone hears about witches, they should directly assume that they are evil, and they should protect themselves from them. And there are many different ways to do that. Macbeth did not try to protect himself or guard himself in any way. He chose to go out on a limb and even try and find them. The first time he meets with the witches, they tell him a certain set of prophecies. This prophecy is what propels the entire play. Although the prophecy is just in a way of welcoming him, they tell him a prophecy and they treat him at the same time. When they say, "All hail Macbeth, Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and King hereafter." Even though the witches tell him this stuff, they tell him for their own reasons, which are kept secret throughout the play. We do not know. However, throughout the play, we start to figure out that their only intention is to cause a little havoc and chaos. Macbeth is the one who chose to believe these prophecies instead of just dismissing them. When the witches told him that he will be king, they did not tell him how. He could have just waited the time out and waited, and maybe he would have been king. However, his ambition caused him to speed up this process by killing his own cousin. Also, when the witches tell Banquo about his own prophecy, it gets to Macbeth later on in the play after he kills King Duncan, and it makes Macbeth want to kill him. When the prophecy states to Banquo, less and greater, not so happy but happier. Thou shalt kill kings, though there will be none. During the course of the play, the witches keep telling the Macbeth different sets of prophecies that make him doubt his own insecurities and start to figure out other solutions. For a prophecy to be falsified, there will be great consequences later on due to the rules of belief and superstition. Once it has been told, it has to be followed through up until the end. These prophecies make Macbeth overconfident in himself rather than stay the calm leader he is. And just to state this, the witches are not the only type of superstition found in the play. There are other acts of superstition that causes Macbeth to fear for his own throne. Like when the ghost of Banquo appears at Macbeth's banquet, when Macbeth ordered his death. This shows that Macbeth has guilt when he killed his own best friend to protect his throne. There are also the 3 apparitions he sees the second time he visits the witches. The apparitions that are used to tell Macbeth when he should die and how are not only used to tell the informant, these are used to deceive him. Their prophecies are what make Macbeth really overconfident. When they tell him to beware Macbeth at first, but then none of woman born shall harm Macbeth, and Macbeth shall never be vanquished until brave Burnham Wind to high once again hell shall come against him. When these apparitions are told to Macbeth, he feels that nothing can kill him, because this is what the prophecies are stating. He is ignorant in that he does not take it only takes them at face value and does not look deeper into them. And unfortunately, this is one of the main reasons that causes his downfall. And now we will show you a small clip from the movie that shows how this belief in superstition and the witches, because to satisfy his insecurities, led him to visit the witches a second time.
The legacy waves compound and swallow your blade couldn't be no ancient trends built down. Your councils on their waters' heads. Your palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations. Though the treasure of Richard Jones' comfort Speak. Your mouth will not say what I would rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters. Let me see. Turn Saul's blood that I've eaten her night. Grease that sweating from the murderous chickens rolled into the flame. Come, high and alone, thyself and of his deathly show. He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say no. Macbeth, beware Macbeth, beware vain of faith. Dismiss me. Enough. That sounds right there, right? You will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first. Macbeth. 50 years I hear you. Be body, bone, and resolute. Now to school, oh man, oh no, woman. John Holmes, What need I fear thee? Determination and shore. I'll take upon the faith that shall not live that I may tell thy hard-feared lies and see that spite of thunder. What is it?
As you can see, Macbeth's deep blindness and superstition caused him to visit the witches a second time, just to know about his future. He's so afraid of traitors in the kingdom because he was a traitor himself. He was afraid to know who would kill him or what would happen in his near future. Also, a critical review from one of the known critics, Scotland, states that superstition affects Macbeth's behavior in many ways throughout the play. Superstition has an important part in the play because Macbeth chooses to believe in those prophecies and that they will come true eventually. And since they told Macbeth that he wants that he will be a king, it made him make it his only option to kill the king and become king. Then, once he became king, he started to put all his blind faith in those prophecies. And so in the end, it ended up as Macbeth controlling his own future rather than the witches controlling his. The fact that he had all the superstition behind him and that his blind faith and superstition caused many of his problems, Shakespeare used superstition in many ways throughout Macbeth to state that witches' prophecies had nothing to do with him killing King Duncan or killing any other person. This is the main reason to his own downfall. Thank you.